Hooray, we're recording. It's the Sunday Night Sesh. I'm Amy Duffy. So glad that you guys are all here. I live in this house. As you can tell, you can see all of our weekend happenings that happened behind us. We had a birthday party last night for my husband. His birthday is not actually till Tuesday, but it was a big one, the big 6-0. So we had a birthday party for him and had so much fun. And those are all of his gifts that we have yet to put away. Thanks for being on. You might hear kid running in the background or whatever, but bear with me because we are human and we live in this house. See, Julie and Randy are living in their house with their cute little grand dog. That's your grand dog, isn't it? Yeah, I thought so. So I want to go through some announcements. I have a few things to chitty chat about, and then I think Kim might kick our hindies. I don't know, but let's just wait and see. Announcements, Path to Silver. Who has heard about Path to Silver? Raise your hand, raise your hand. Who has watched the video? Okay, get in the group, look for Path to Silver, watch the video that Aaron Rodgers did. It's really, really good. I've watched it twice because there's a lot to learn about Path to Silver. What is Path to Silver? Path to Silver is a new bonus program that Young Living has created for us, and it's awesome. Like, I think everybody on this call can take advantage of that bonus program in some way, shape, or form, whether it's the Path to Silver, or I know right on this call we have two over here in this corner that are Bridge to Gold. They've already reached the silver part and they're working on their bridge to gold, which is super exciting. So be sure that you watch that video, because if you haven't watched that video, you don't know how you can take advantage of it, but you also don't know how you can help your team take advantage of it. Every single one of us on this call tonight have someone in their organization. So whether they have hit star or silver, there is something for them to take advantage of. And it starts April 1st. So we have like 2 weeks to really learn it, to soak it in as much as we can, and to spew it out, like talk to all the people. Who would not want some extra? Like, I don't know. I mean, I always want extra. Who would not want some extra cash? So cash for summer, cash to pay some bills, cash to help pay for a vacation or something like that. So how are you promoting this if you don't know about it? And if you do know about it, I hope you're promoting it. I hope you're going through your organization and saying, okay, how many of my team has already hit star? Let me put their name in this list, and you can run those reports. Do we need to do a video on how to run reports? Melissa says yes. I can see it with those eyeballs. She is saying yes right now. Okay.
Absolutely.
So we can do that. And I may just do it on my own video recording and put it in the group. Okay. This Thursday night, we have another Zoom call. We had about 30 people on our Zoom call last Thursday night, and that was how to get the most out of your premium starter kit. We talked about what comes in your premium starter kit. There were a ton of brand new people on the call, and maybe some of them didn't know that there was that little secret compartment where their peace and calming and stress away and Ninja Red were. But there were a ton of people who had been members for a little while, and they were like, what are you talking about? I don't have to buy a business package. I don't have to, buy some special brand partner package to help people get started with their starter kits and earn a paycheck. Whether that is, I just, like I said, want to earn enough to pay my utility bill each month, or I want to stick some money in my pocket for fun, throwaway money, or I hate my job and I want to quit it. So I need to, replace my income. So we talked a little bit about that. This Thursday, the title is Sharing Young Living. How do you do that? How easy is it? How can we help you do a better job in that? And where can you find resources to do that as well? So you won't want to miss that this Thursday night. The link is going to be the same as it was last Thursday night, but I'll share more information in the Live on Purpose page. And we also have a leadership page, and it's called Lead on Purpose. Live on Purpose, Lead on Purpose. Isn't that fun? Yes. So if you're not in that group and you want to be in that group, we post tidbits of information. Some leaders post in that group great leadership information, and I so appreciate that. So just let me know. The March retreat for Live on Purpose is this very weekend in like 5 days. I'm super excited. And Melissa is going, Julie Manis is going, and I'm so excited about that. And we are going to spend the weekend in Shelnab at a beautiful house that some of you guys have already been to. And if you haven't been and you want to attend a retreat, I want you to message me and let me know, because I'll work on planning another one as the year goes on. But be in prayer about that. Pray for us and pray that everyone makes it safely, because I know some are coming from a couple of hours away. Amber Schmidt's coming from a couple of hours away. Pray that we have decent weather anyway. Ask Randy Terry. I locked everyone inside for 72 hours. I'm just kidding. We got out a little bit, so, walk around. We did a 5K on Saturday morning, so make sure you bring your running shoes for that. And we're going to have a really good time. So what's wrong, Melissa? All right. Possible movie night coming up. Who misses the movies? Like, I totally miss going to the movies. I want popcorn and some Twizzlers. Like, I just miss going to the movies. Kim says, no, I cannot have popcorn and Twizzlers. And she's exactly right. But I miss it anyway, and I want to have a movie night with you all. So Randy, Terry, and I are in the works on that. But I'm going to expect, if we can at all pull it off, that it is going to happen within the next 2 weeks, which is crunch time. I want it to happen before the end of March to help us propel into the path to silver, which starts April 1st. So please, I know that your schedules can't be kept open for everything, but please be watching in the group when we throw out 1 or 2 dates and times, and let us know which one works for you, so we can, schedule a date and a time that works for most people. And that will be here in Springfield, Missouri. So Young Living Convention is June 16th through the 19th. If you have not gotten your virtual ticket, do so. Everyone that gets a virtual ticket, I think they're $55 now. They will get a little gift in the mail prior to convention. We've also talked about having a local in-person convention. And I think this would be really a great time for us to create community, to get together, have some togetherness, and we can share stories about when we've gone to convention, what was fun. A couple of the venues I've looked at have really great pools and hot tubs that we can have a good time in, and just kind of celebrate Young Living, celebrate being together, do some team building, fun games and things like that. Minute to Win It. My sister Kim is the best at putting Minute to Win It games together. So we may have her help us with that. So that's all the announcements that I have, but I have something else to go over with you. Does anybody else have any announcements before we go on? Anybody have classes they want to invite us to? Okay. Well, let's work on that. KK? KK. All right. All right. So this question came up this week and it stumped me. It really got me thinking. And so I want it to get you thinking. And I hope that none of you feel like you're being picked on, because we all need to be encouraged every now and then, right? So this one really encouraged me to think about me. So that's all I want you to do, is kind of think about you, where this applies to you, how this pertains to you, and have some feedback. If you have something that that really comes to your mind as I'm talking through this one sentence, I want you to say, like, hey, that hurts right there, and I'm going to XYZ, or wow, that resonates with me because this or this. But don't feel like I'm talking to you individually, because really I'm talking right back to this girl right here, this girl right here. So the question was, would you buy from you? Would you buy a premium starter kit from you? And the first thought that I had in my mind was the example of, would you hire a running coach to help you run a 5K that had never run a 5K? No. So you would look for someone who had prepared, right? They've already been there. They've already done that thing, and they have something to give to you. So how much are you preparing every day? every week, twice a month? How much are you preparing to make sure that when someone is interested or has questions, that you're ready to give them answers? Are you constantly learning, like grabbing your desk reference or a pocket reference or going online, learning about a new oil or product? Are you listening to podcasts? We have great podcasts available. Are you jumping on the Young Living USA Facebook page and seeing what they're posting about? You know, how much have you prepared for being what we are now called brand partners of Young Living, right? Are you showing up? And what does that look like? Because if you hired a coach to teach you how to run a 5K and he never showed up or she never showed up, would you want to hang out? Would you want to keep learning from them? Are you showing up just sporadically here and there? Are you showing up here and not there? We have lots of different ways to show up. Are you targeting your market or someone else's? So are you specifically copying and pasting something someone else has said and sharing it, but it doesn't even pertain to you or your market? For instance, when I say things like, I'll probably say them wrong, but whatever, like, oh, that's on fleek. Or, you know, oh, what else do I say? I had to write them down. That's on point. Or she came down clutch with that. I probably didn't say that one either, right? But, okay, no, I didn't. But if I were to say those things in my post, people would be like, that's wrong. Like, she took that from somebody else and that's wrong. Like, you know, that's like the guy teaching me how to run the 5K when he's never put on his running shoes, right? That's me saying clutch. I say things like, holy macaroni and cheese. Like, that's what I say. That's what that's me, right, Pam? Pam's like, that's why we relate, because, you know, we don't say clutch. I want to say clutch. I'm not telling you that I don't, but I'm saying I stay in my lane. I work in my yard, and these are the things that are in my yard. You know, I go to the farm and help mom with the chores, or I, you know, hang out with my dog, whatever, you know, I stay in my yard. So are you doing that? Or are you, you know, putting out rainbows and unicorns when that doesn't even pertain to you at all? Okay. Are you too busy talking all the time and not doing enough listening? So I don't like to go to a car dealership and buy a car from someone who doesn't shut up. All they do is talk about the car and or the number of sales. So we interviewed a couple of people that do fence work, and this one guy that came and talked to us would not shut up. I mean, he didn't even ask us what kind of fence we wanted, really. 5-strand or 6-strand? Do you want this big a post or that big a post? Or, you know, and he just talked about, I've done this for 25 years and you can ask all these people and I'm so good at this and I'm the best essential oil person ever. And everyone I touch turns to silver. And you can, you know, like, are you so busy talking about you and how good you are and how many lives you've changed and how many alls you got in people's homes, and but that you're so busy you're not listening to your people, right? You're not paying attention to what they're putting on their Facebook wall and what they're saying to you, that kind of thing. And what would other people say about you? Now, this one can be tricky because we don't live our lives really caring about what other people say about you, because if I did that, I would think that I was a liar and a cheat and a thief. But I'm not, because I feel like the majority of you would have something different to say about me. So making sure that what other people say about you is important, because those people are important and the other people aren't. You know, people don't remember as much about what you had to say, but more so about how you left them feeling. How did you make them feel? My husband was telling me about meeting someone today that he gave dressing to, salad dressing. He's been in the sales industry for 40 years and he sells lots of things pertaining to restaurants. So he had a customer coming through town who wanted some samples of different kinds of salad dressing. And so he met them across town and was giving them this dressing. And he said, you know, right before we left, I realized that there had been no connection made. It was like, here's your dressing, you know, and he started to go back to his truck. And I sent him a snapshot of him with his lit up birthday cake, which his birthday cake was fabulous if you didn't see it. And when you got the candles on it all around the drum set, did you see that, Randy? All around the drum set, it looked like a rock and roll party was going on right there. And so he said, I took that back over to the car and I said, look at this. And this man's wife was in the car, restaurant owners. And she was like, oh, when is it your birthday? I mean, the majority of women, they need to relate on an emotional level. So he connected. There was a connection. And he was like, well, my birthday's not till Tuesday, but my party was yesterday. And then he told them a little story that he likes to tell. I wish he'd come in here and tell it, but he probably can't hear me. We bought dinner instead of him making dinner tonight, so he's not on the other side of the kitchen. But he tells his story because he's letting his hair grow out. And he said, I said, man, it took me forever to glue on my hair before the party. And it's all his hair. He's got a big old head full of hair. And so there was another connection. He said they cackled, just belly laughed. So when they drove home, the one thing I know they did was talk about him. And the other thing is that story that he told and how he connected with them is memorable. So he created a point of interest, something that they would remember him by, but he connected with them. He didn't connect with himself, you know? So if you're so busy always talking about yourself or how long you've used oils or how long you and your 9 children haven't been to the doctor or, you know, whatever it might be, people get tired of that and they want to move on because people love for you to connect with them personally. Let's see. I think I got 2 more. Are you helpful? Would someone else say, like Randy Terry, let's just pick on him. I really like picking on Randy because he always just loves me anyway. So of you that I can see your faces on here, have any of you sent Randy Terry a message? Raise your hand. Yes, 3 out of the 4 of us that we can see video have. Is Randy Terry quick to respond? Yes or no? Yes, raise your hand. Well, look at Melissa. She got her hand up. She got a hand up. Okay. So, you know, that's what it is for Randy is that what would people say about Randy? People would say that he cares about you, that he's quick to reply, that he's interested in what you have to say, that he's professional, that he's not going to leave you hanging. You know, you can count on him. Do you want to do business with someone like that? Absolutely. You don't want to do business with someone that you send a message to and it takes 3 days to reply. Now, I will tell you that sometimes I save them because I know I can't reply adequately right at that moment, but I come back to it and reply typically within, you know, a 24-hour period. And I think that's very timely. So what are people saying about you? What do other people say about you? Are they remembering what you have to say or how you made them feel? Because that's really, really important. And take interest in your prospects. Do you have a prospect list? Because if you don't, you're not taking interest in them. You're not taking interest in them. Did you hear me? Pam, if you don't have a prospect list, whether that's 2 or 22 people on it, you are not taking interest in your prospects. Because if you do have a list of those names and they're here on this piece of paper taped to your computer, then you're going, oh, Becky, I know she messaged me about, you know, something to help with the little funny things that are falling from the sky right now. And I need to get back with her. Or I sent her that and I didn't get back with her. You feel me? You got me? All right. Anything to add to that? Would you buy from you? Is your answer yes, I would buy from you? I know Kim says this a lot too, and I don't think I'm stealing any of her thunder, but what does your storefront look like? Because right now, our storefront is about 80% virtual. So whether you're virtually on Pinterest, or you're on Facebook, or you're on
Instagram,
Twitter, and that was the one I was looking for. Instagram, I'm working on that one. You know, what does your storefront look like? So if I were to go and click on Pam's stories right now, what would I see, Pam? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but you know I love you.
You'd see where I took Nitro this afternoon.
Woo! Hey, girl. Yeah. See what I'm saying? You know, if you're not having a story go on in Facebook and Instagram right now on a regular basis, posting something on your stories about every 3 hours, that story goes away. So when Becky gets on to see what's going on out there in the world, your scroll is not coming up for her to look at. Your story is not coming across her feed, because a lot of people are clicking on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm not as educated on that one, but I am working on it. Thank goodness for Alyssa Hampton. If you know, most people are clicking on Facebook and they're looking at that very top screen and they're going, oh, what's Kim been doing today? And click on Kim's little circle there and it goes story, 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 story. It shows what she's doing. Even if it's a full day of painting houses and ain't nothing got to do with essential oils, it's something for them to look at, right? So make sure that you are at least putting an image on your stories every 3 hours. I do have someone coming in, I'm hoping next week, to give us an Instagram education, and I am so excited for that. I've already learned once and I need to learn again. I need a refresher course. So before I turn it over to Kim, anybody else got anything on would you buy from you? All right, we good, sister? Come on now. She's all slicked up. She went and got in the shower and everything. I have to look like a wet.
I did, but I do want to say I really, really, really feel like that was fire. I think that was truly a word in due season for not only by myself, but everyone. I really think that was fire. If I had a fire, the girl is on fire. I really like that. I really think that you hit on some good things, because too many times we get caught up in, like you said, just the verbiage, throwing pictures, verbiage. And who are you throwing it at? Is it sticking anywhere? Well, what are we doing? I mean, is there a plan? Do you have a plan? Have you laid it out? What does your, like, you know, my painting stories, whatnot. Oh, there's the fires from Randy. Get it, Randy. Anybody, I hope everybody else saw the fires. If not, nobody but him and I know what's going on. But I really feel like, so I wanted to touch tonight kind of on that same line, is don't assume what's in someone else's pockets. And I learned this the hard way. As you guys know, Brian and I are engaged, and I am pretty much always right. I mean, this is a hard lesson for him to learn. However, this time I had to swallow my pride and say that, you know, Brian once again taught me that you don't assume that you know what someone else needs. You preach the word to everyone. You share from line to line. It doesn't matter who it is. For instance, I had a good friend on mine. Everybody disappeared. So if I'm still in here alone, I'm just going to keep talking. Debbie Glenn, I see you. So I'm on. Okay. So what happened was, I have this really good friend, and she has been my friend forever and ever and ever. And she sells something else. And so I never tried to sell to her. I never pinpointed when she said those drops of things are falling out of the air and they're stuffing up her nose, or this or that's happening, her eyes are watering, whatever. You know, I never jumped into her inbox, because I knew she didn't want that. She didn't need that, because she sold something else completely different, not even oils, not even oil related, but I just knew. Wrong. She jumped into mine after she looked at my story and saw that I had something that she wanted to find more about. That stinks of me. So I just want to remind everyone, jump in those inboxes. I know Randy is really good about that. Jump in those inboxes. Thank you so much for liking my peppermint cleared up, my nose today story. That means a lot to me that you're watching my story. How are you doing? You're opening up that storefront. We're sorry. Forgive me. So, we're opening up that storefront. We're trying to hear from people. The other thing that I wanted to say was, Brian went to, O'Reilly's and was talking to somebody about something else and mentioned something else about his oils and how it's helped him, and was able to sell a kit. Would you have went to O'Reilly's and got to visit with somebody and shared your story? I'm not sure I would have, because I think, oh, they're too busy. Oh, she doesn't want that. Oh, it doesn't look like she can afford that. I've done it. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not that I'm not trying. I just don't think about it because I assume what other people need. And I'm just saying, let's across the board share from beginning to end. I'm just saying, let's just continue to share on your stories, open your storefront, because I learned some really good lessons. I learned some really hard truths that sometimes I assume what other people need, and that's not true at all. My friend, she's a really great friend of mine. I could have been sharing with her this whole time, and she had to reach out to me. So I've learned some really great things. I want to say that I am sorry for being MIA. And this past month, I would not have bought from myself because I wasn't doing what I should be doing. I'm glad to be back here in March and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But I love that, Amy, tonight. I'm going to wrap this up because I do value your time. But I wanted to share with you, don't assume what your Starbucks lady needs, or the lady from church that you have sat by for 10 years. She could have an aches and a pains that all about, or she could have whatever it is, that we could share with them. So just continue to share and just don't assume like I did. That was my bad, but I wanted to share that with you because how do we learn but from each other? I know that Randy and Amy and Carla and Sarah, oh my gosh, I love their studies. I really did, because how do we learn if not from each other? So I just wanted to share that with you tonight. Amy, Michelle, are you still on here?
Yes, I am. And thank you so much. I know that you are probably so exhausted because it's an hour later there and we had the time change, which to me it makes it like 10 hours later. So I appreciate you hopping on, and I can't wait for you to share the transformation of your house. And I think we all need to jump in my minivan and take a road trip.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah. And it's really beautiful country down there. So I just want to say I've jotted down everyone's name. And if you have a pen and paper, I think you should jot down everyone's name on this call tonight and live life with those people this week.
Yeah.
Check in on Pam. How is Pam doing? What's her story look like? And send her a little message and say, I see you, girl. I see what's going on. And encourage her, because that's what builds each other. That's what builds our community when we're talking and sharing and loving with each other. So if you haven't and you want to know who was on the call tonight, just send me a message and I can send that to you. And make sure that, every single day, even if it's just one time a day, that you are being intentional with your business. If you want to learn how to run a 5K, you can't start out the first day running it. If you can, you're a super freaking hero powered person, but most people have to start baby steps. So if you're thinking like stories, what? I don't even know what that is. Either Google it or get on YouTube and say how to do a Facebook story. And you can watch some videos or private message myself or Kim or Randy on here, or Carla. She knows how to do stories and we can, help you with that. But the biggest takeaway I want you to take today is I want you to really do your best. Every 3 hours, set an alarm, your 3 waking hours, to post one thing on your stories. I was with my son tonight and we were doing a few errands, and he was taking a picture for a different kind of story, but he was taking a picture of everything we were doing. He was sending it to his girlfriend. I know it's really sweet, but she's went home for spring break. So he's like, oh, I miss her. She's been gone for 2 hours and 23 minutes. And so he's like taking a picture of everything and sending it to her. And not that you have to take a picture of everything, but Melissa could have taken a picture of that cute little dog she just showed us, just that picture, and been like, drool much, or whatever. Like we all relate, so people not only want to see, what you're doing in your business life, they want to see what you're doing in your personal life. And I guarantee you, they don't want to hear my words. That'd be like Randy Terry, when I say stay in your own yard, stay in your own lane, that'd be like, well, I guess he could relate to that, posting about, dragon time for menstrual cramps. He could relate because he's had a few menstrual cramps in his life. He's got a house full of girls, but it would be kind of a little awkward maybe unless he posted it on the dad side, Anyway, I know, off topic, squirrel. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I hope that you will make time to come back here Thursday night and join us for the sharing call. And I really want you to invite 1 or 2 people to that call, whether they're on your team or on your cross lines. We don't care. The more the merrier. We have a really good time in there. Jeanette's working really hard and I together to create those calls for you guys. Anyone have any questions or comments before we go? All right. Thanks so much for being on. Live on Purpose.
Amy.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.